already pay some of the highest childcare costs in the country. So I would imagine that it could be quite concerning for parents out there, knowing that a new report from City Hall is suggesting that as Queen's Park tries to modernize childcare rules, those new rules could make for, upwards of 2,000 fewer licensed daycare spaces, and it could also drive the cost up.
Yeah, because they're also changing the ratio there. And I imagine we got a lot of interesting calls today. Robin, in your particular case, we saw something yesterday at Queen's Park that also affected you.
Sir, I'm having a little bit of difficulty hearing you.
Okay, Robin,
there we go.
You have two children who are autistic, I understand, and we also saw a very emotional day at Queen's Park regarding therapy for children with autism. But you're also talking about difficulties finding daycare, either in a home or whatever, huh?
Absolutely. So I was at Queen's Park yesterday.
Were you?
I was. I have two children with autism. One is age 7. He's nonverbal and just starting to gain some speech. The other is 9 years old. Both of them are in what we call a community classroom at school.
So you face a lot of challenges in life, and now this heaped upon it. What sort of trouble do you have getting daycare?
It's almost impossible. You have to understand, especially having two autistic children as opposed to having one. Both have their own unique challenges, and for a stranger to come into your home and try to take care of those children without having some kind of background, it's not something that's feasible. Even to just leave the house for half an hour, you would have to have someone that's paid between $15 and $25 an hour just to come into your home. So I'm looking at the way legislature seems to be downplaying how big of an issue this is, because it seems as though they're only addressing neurotypical children. They're not thinking about the autistic community at all, or at least they're not expressing that. Autism Speaks released 1 in 45 children has autism nationally, and there's no funding going to these parents. How do parents get to leave to go out of the house?
I don't know.
And the funding that is available is all based on salary caps. So if you make more than $80,000 a year, then you don't get to apply for that funding. Autism doesn't choose its economic demographic. Yesterday we heard 16,000 are on wait list for IBI therapy. How many can't get daycare? Kids can't go to school. If children can't go to school, then parents can't go to work.
Yeah, Robin, we saw one mother yesterday talking about how they've essentially sold off everything, and a family of 5 is now living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yes, I know, Kirsten, and this is something that plagues the autism community. Between the way the funds are being distributed with the Ministry of Social Services, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Healthcare, autistic children seem to be falling through the gaps. We don't seem to be able to access the services we need. It's almost as though autistic children don't even exist in the community. So when I see legislature kind of downplaying daycare, because it's just daycare, really, what are we really looking at here? I think it's a much larger issue, and it's kind of being swept under the rug.
Yeah, and I must say, Robin, the case was presented very well yesterday at Queen's Park, dealing with individual stories that certainly touched everyone.
There were over 200 parents. We didn't even make it inside. We were in the overflow rooms.
Were you?
And there's protests happening this week, and I have a group that's called Autism Unplugged. It's on social media, and we have 600 parents on there, and it's day in and day out, not just daycare or not just IBI. Like, there's just so many struggles, and I think that more awareness by the legislature needs to be made.
Well, Robin, our hearts go out to you.
We wish you well. Thank you for sharing your story.